Greetings YouTube, DJ Bonebreaker coming at you for yet another Fallout 4 settlement build. This time we are at the extreme southwest end of the Commonwealth at Somerville Place, our small outpost on the edge of the glowing sea. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So yeah, as you can see, I've got this Griffith's Signs and Posters sign here, stating that it is a member of the Minimum Settlement Network, and warning people not to travel west or south due to the higher levels of radiation and very nasty critters. And you can see some of our settlement defense turrets on either side. And over here is one of the original settlers, or I should say the original adult settler, who's running a trade goods store now. And over here we've got our Adam Cat's person here running this small little bar. And yes, they make their stuff locally. They got this seating area here. Nothing too fancy, but like I said, this is the kind of place that in real life you'd get sent to if you managed to piss off, like, the general or some other high-ranking officer, and he just, want to get rid of you.
Run by ghouls? Isn't that something?
Oh, yeah, before I go in, I completely repaired this house. Well, actually, Snappy House Kits has a prefab house that is exactly like the broken house that was originally here, only fixed. So I just slotted this thing in place of the original one, made sure they all lined up and everything, then scrapped the original. So I was able to get this thing in place without having to disturb anything that was in here. I did add some nice decorations and stuff. A lot of the furniture is still original. Did add a second chair for the kitchen table, and I think I added this cook stove as well. I did replace the ratty looking couches or armchairs with these nicer ones right here. I did have to move this shelf with all the toys in it and the ham radio out to here. Ham radio, of course, is how they contact the castle so that they can alert Radio Freedom of any issues. And the reason I moved that was I slid in these walls here and gave them a nice indoor bathroom. Yeah, because the windows were already here and I couldn't replace or move them, I use these curtains from the Nuka-Cola Collectors Creation Club, so to give them some privacy. Excuse me, Piper. Thank you. So yeah, that's the house. The farm is pretty much how it was originally, although we do have an additional Minutemen settler here helping with the farm because I did expand it slightly. Produces 18 food now. And while it might look like these 4 turret towers are facing outwards to hit threats, coming in from the swamp or whatever, for some reason all the enemies spawn right about here in the middle of the farm, because that, according to Oxhorn's one video showing settlement spawns, is where the spawn location for this settlement is. So these towers are also, due to the way I have the 360-degree defensive pattern arranged, are a perfect angle to basically light up anything that spawns in here, like the 4th of July. And down here, by the edge of the swamp, we've got one of our 3 synth manned artillery pieces. And believe it or not, there's just enough space inside the settlement boundaries to actually get a normal water purifier into this swamp here. Like, let me show you just how close. Sentinel armor, get out of my way. Alright, let me show you just how tight the setting is, but this is legit. I didn't use console commands or anything. See? It just, yeah, it's just like, just, this is the only place where it'll actually fit. So, as you're like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Just because, you know, water purifiers are a lot more efficient than the water pumps are. Got our weapons and clothing store here, along with the scavenging station. So our weapons cellar and clothing cellar. Got a public
Farm's not
restroom
much,
here.
but it's something.
Got some Minutemen propaganda poster. Some goods on display out front. And then back we've got some, you know, crates and what have you. And some more stuff on display. And upstairs is a bedroom for 3 people. Bit cramped, but pretty fancy living for, you know, post-apocalypse. Got a, you know, roof over your head that doesn't leak, electricity, running water, bed that isn't like all gross and stuff. And then out here underneath this side porch we've got our power armor workstation, because I found that there are certain areas in the glowing sea that it's easier to access from Somerville Place, or to return to Somerville Place from, rather than the Natick power station. So I figured might as well have the ability to work on my power armor here. Yeah, I had to, in order to get enough level area to build this house, I had to create this retaining wall and use some of the dirt blocks from the Snappy House kit to create this like raised, leveled off area here. And then I added additional foundation tiles. They're slightly offset to actually build the structure on. And over here we have our chicken coop with some actual chickens in it. None of them are in the inside of the main coop right now. But yeah, the coop and the chickens are from the Barn Editions mod pack, which featured heavily in the last video with the prefab, you know, watchtowers and all the barn pieces I used to rebuild the sheds and the warehouse at the Natick power station. There's our second of our 3 artillery pieces with, you know, another synth.
Need to get back to Diamond City one of these days. Biggest town I ever saw.
And over here, I added these turret towers, even though enemies hardly ever spawn in these directions, to kind of mark the boundaries of the settlement. So yeah, I've got, and I made them all machine gun turrets, so that, you know, I didn't have to run power all the way out to here, because it's kind of a pain in the butt trying to, you know, get power from down there up to here. But yeah, in case you might have noticed, I did install a mod recently called Realistic Green Grass Shrubs and Trees that is kind of like Touch of Green, where it doesn't like turn the Commonwealth like super lush, but it isn't like dead looking anymore. And I really like it. It's subtle, but it makes a huge difference to the overall look of the game, and I really like it. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, here's the second one. Like I said, these are like practically right along the edge of the border here. And this one's got the fancy Minutemen flag on it as well. And then the third one, this one might actually have contact with enemy, because there's this randomly respawning group of wild mongrels, usually like glowing ones, that will spawn somewhere in the vicinity of this bunker. Sometimes they'll spawn on top of the hill, which will put them in range and view of the turret tower, but sometimes they spawn behind the hill. So I figure that way keep from, you know, having dogs attacking the base from behind. And this is the third and final one of the synth manned artillery platforms. Wow, I can't talk today. And this is our small Minutemen barracks here that I built on some of the remaining semi-level ground in this settlement. With looks like both of our guard dogs decide they want to share this doghouse. Even there's another doghouse over there by the weapons shop. Yeah, this one's actually smaller than the other one. It only holds 4 people, but it still has, you know, same type of bathroom and sink and shower configuration as the other ones. Got a coffee pot or coffee brewer thingy, coffee machine. That's the word I'm looking for. And some, you know, inspirational paintings and posters and what have you scattered about the room, and you know, some tables and a couch for them to sit at. And finally, we've got the rest of our water production here. These 2 well pumps pumping away, and our power station. Again, fairly typical power station like I have at several of my other settlements. Has a weapons and armor workbench in it as well. Population management terminal, which also used to manage my turrets and stuff. And of course a bedroom and bathroom for 2 more people to live in it. So yeah, this is the Somerville Place settlement. Not a whole lot to it, but then again, there isn't a whole lot to this settlement in general. But you know, pretty happy with how everything turned out. So once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, this is DJ Bonebreaker, signing off.